Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
All of our guests today, including Craig Button standing by, brought to you by the Bayside Oceanfront Resort. Book your next corporate or private event at the Bayside Oceanfront Resort. It's in Parksville, offering full setup including bar service and staffing, as well as business essentials to make your event seamless. Choose from their extensive banquet menu created by their talented chef with focus on fresh seasonal ingredients. That's his specialty.
Oh, beautiful.
Turnips, Brussels sprouts, anything seasonal. Call 250-248-8333 or visit BaysideResortParksville.com. Yeah, the first thing you think of Bayside Oceanfront Resort, turnips. And with that, we bring in Craig Button, TSN Scouting Director. Thanks for doing this, Craig. How are you?
Oh.
I am really, really good. Really great. I don't know if you can see that sunbeam coming in the back of me and all the sunlight.
Yeah.
That's the sunbeam from my new granddaughter, born on Sunday.
Very nice.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Saturday, November 11th. Yeah.
Oh, my
Congratulations.
gosh.
Congrats.
Oh, well, congrats. Is there she got a name?
Blair Alexandra.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Outstanding. We won't tell her about the shirt you're wearing today. Okay.
Well, the key is don't take a picture so there can be no evidence. In the future.
It looks good. Hey, what have the Oilers got in Chris Knobloch, Craig?
Chris is I felt for some time now, for a number of years, that Chris was certainly a candidate that could be considered for head coaching jobs in the NHL. And now he is a head coach. And it doesn't come as a surprise to me. I've watched Chris coach for a lot of years in junior, certainly some in the National League as an assistant and in the minors. You know, Chris understands how important offensive play is, and certainly, you know, he's got lots of offense in Edmonton. But making sure that you're not compromising important areas of the games defensively is essential for success. And that's what Chris will be able to emphasize. I also believe that Chris really is strong in the areas of implementing a defensive structure that everybody is clear on. And, you know, that doesn't create vulnerability or uncertainty in what you're trying to do. And it's going to take him a little bit of time to just kind of emphasize it. I think that the Oilers can put some things into place just as a team. I saw some evidence of that in their victory versus the Islanders on Monday night, and the Islanders force you into that type of game. Because if you don't play that type of game, you're going to run into all kinds of problems. So that might have been just the perfect team for the Oilers to play in Chris Knobloch's first game. And, you know, he's coached Connor McDavid. He's coached skill. He understands, but he also understands the other side of it. Ken Hitchcock went into the Hockey Hall of Fame on Monday night. And his teams in Kamloops were brilliant offensive teams. What Hitch never got enough credit for was how good they were defensively. And it was the same thing in the NHL. Certainly our teams in Dallas under Hitch's guidance were tremendous. Defensively, he didn't stifle the offensive players or the offense, but he said, we're not sacrificing defense so you can get your cookies. And I think Chris will be exactly the same.
As for the man Chris replaced, Jay Woodcraft, he won only completed one full season with the Oilers, but he managed to win 3 playoff series. The 2 he lost were the eventual Stanley Cup winners. That regular season last year, the Oilers' best since 85-86, which is saying something. We're talking about the Gretzky era. What the heck happened with Jay Woodcraft, Craig?
Great question, Donnie. And here's my take on it. And I believe in the vast majority of cases, coaches don't lose their jobs because they don't know the game or they don't know the X's and O's. It's because they haven't been able to deal with the problems that they're confronted with. Coaches are confronted with problems all the time. I remember Pat Quinn when I worked with him in Toronto, and, you know, talking to Pat after that over the years. He said, you know, we sit in the coach's office and we might have 10 problems, and we might have solutions to 8 of them. And we're working so hard to try to find solutions to the other 2. Successful coaches find solutions to the problems, and they're going to be different, whether it be in terms of defensive play, a certain area of the game that you got to improve. And part of that is instilling a sense of confidence in the players that you do have the solutions. And I think that Jay, through the early part of this season, wasn't able to come up with solutions for the problem. Their problems weren't on offense. Everybody says, they weren't scoring. Yeah, but their process was good. What was hurting them was the other parts of their game: rush chances against, defensive zone coverage, giving up grade A scoring chances, high danger opportunities for your opponent. And yeah, you can say that the goaltending could have been better. And then I don't think Jay was able to really hold the team accountable to how they wanted to play. And those are the things that I think led to his dismissal in Edmonton. Do I think he can learn from it? Absolutely, I think he can. I don't think anybody will dismiss what he did for the Edmonton Oilers. But with the season they were having and the expectations on them, change was necessary.
Craig, the Canucks, for those people that are expecting them to burn and crash, and they're not doing it, they keep on winning, Craig. They're also trying to add right now. They got a couple of defensemen in Calgary on their target list, Zadorov and Tanev. What are your thoughts about those two, trying to obtain those two, Craig?
I think it would be great. I think it would be awesome for the Vancouver Canucks. Canucks fans know how solid Chris Tanev is, and he hasn't lost any of that ability. Zadorov is a big, strong, territorial defenseman that, under Daryl Sutter, really took his game to another level. I mean, Nikita, what I would describe Nikita as previously was kind of a wild horse, but they were able to get him, reined in a little bit. He's still aggressive, but he can skate, he can make plays. But I think he's really been able to get his game to a level that's really solid and really dependable. And when you look at a player like Nikita, he's unique. And certainly Chris is right shot defenseman who can skate and competes as good as any player in the National Hockey League. I think those would be very strong additions for the Vancouver Canucks. Rick, one of the things I would say too, and I know I've said this, I think I said this to you last week, the Vancouver Canucks right now remind me a lot of the Calgary Flames 2 years ago. They'd had a mid-season coaching change the previous year. They'd missed the playoffs. There was all this talk, and they won 50 games. And the same questions that were surrounding the Flames at that time are surrounding the Vancouver Canucks. But the Vancouver Canucks are a good team, and you cannot dismiss what they're doing. And I know all regression, and you'll come down to earth. When a team starts performing and maxing, maybe maxing is the wrong word, but playing up to their capabilities individually and as a team, you're going to have success. And I think that's what Rick Tocchet has done in Vancouver, and certainly what I see.
Craig, one of the forwards in Vancouver right now, JT Miller. I mean, he's having on both sides of the puck. I mean, he's got the points, but he's in matchup roles. JT is off to a great start, Craig.
Well, you think to 2 years ago, the season he had, a career season, right? And everybody was impressed. And then they signed JT Miller to the long-term contract. And there might have been a little bit of consternation. Here's how I feel about JT's always been a good player. And I think that Rick Tocchet, and you got to give Bruce Boudreau some credit too for pushing him to a higher level offensively. But I think what you're seeing now with JT is the understanding and the belief that he can be an impactful player in a lot of different areas of the game. And what I love about JT, he's not going to accept losing. He's a snarly, angry loser. I want snarly, angry losers. I want somebody that's not happy when things don't go his way. Now, I know there's different times when you can manage it. I thought Rick dealt with some of that earlier this year. But when you watch JT play, the way he skates, the way he thinks, he's got size, he's got competitive fire, and he's got skill. That's a very, very valuable player. And I think the Vancouver Canucks are more than happy to have him long-term. And you have to talk about him as one of the most complete two-way centers in the National Hockey League.
And they picked, the Canucks did, JT Miller. They decided to keep him versus Bo Horvat. Bo Horvat comes to Vancouver, returns to Vancouver on Wednesday. We're going to find out if he gets booed or not. How do you think he's fit in with the Islanders, Craig?
Well, the Islanders needed an influx of skill and a little bit more speed in their lineup, and certainly Bo offered that. I mean, Lou makes the trade, and certainly, feels strongly because he signed him to the long-term contract. I mean, what Bo did for the Vancouver Canucks, I think should be celebrated. I think that Bo was and is a player that's going to give you everything he has, and he's going to be invested in critical areas of the game. But I think when the Vancouver Canucks made the decision that they wanted to sign JT Miller, knowing that they had Elias Pettersson coming up, for a big pay raise, they had to make a decision. And as hard as that decision may have been to accept for others, those are the ones that you have to be able to make if you want to manage your cap, and you want to be able to make sure that you can surround your key players in a positive manner. And I think that there's going to be scenarios that aren't pleasant to deal with, but good management, strong management deals with it. And I think that's exactly what ended up what happened with the Vancouver Canucks and Bo Horvat. They recognized Bo Horvat was a good player. And I will say this, Atu Ratu, and I think is going to find a way to be a solid third-line center in the National Hockey League. So, you put it all together in terms of signing other players, being able to add that type of center, it's just part of the process in the salary cap world.
All right, Grandpa, thanks for this. We'll talk to you next week.
I'm happy to have that moniker.
You're a lucky man. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it.